Welcome to the second video in the series from the Thai-Italian Chamber of Commerce from the Legal and Regulatory Committee. Today we're filming from the wonderful new premises of the Thai-Italian Chamber, and I'm talking with a member of the Chamber, Diego Sala, who's the Managing Director of Siam Development. Hi Diego, welcome to the video. Tell me a little bit about your company if you can.
Well, I can, sure. My company is Siam Trade Development, founded 8 years ago, and we are active in everything that is regulatory. That means everything that is under FDA or Excise Department of the Department of Agriculture. We mainly support the investors and the new company in the first stage that is licensing and product registration.
I've heard a lot about the healthcare industry in Thailand. It's booming at the moment as people are more conscious about their looks, their appearance, their health. And you do a lot of work in that area. Specifically, what areas do you work in?
All the products under FDA. That means basically everything that is applied on the skin, consumed and ingested, and for human consumption. Mm-hmm. This means that we have a lot of data from the market that, as you said, is booming, really booming. But there are also a lot of news, new details, and new regulation that are helping the next generation of investors. Okay,
really interesting. And of course, coming to Thailand, you need a lot of information, you need a lot of data before you apply for your regulatory and licensing permits. Tell me about a sort of data a person, if they want to start up a company distributing a healthcare product, what sort of information do they need to bring to Thailand before they even start applying for licenses?
Basically, they need assistance more than information. The do it by yourself is very hard to be put in practice. And without the proper support is quite impossible. That's the reason why many foreign companies perceive the FDA, the regulatory, as a barrier. That is not, totally not. It's something that with the right support can be done. I don't say easily, but successfully in 95% of the cases.
So we've got a company setting up in Thailand. It wants to import healthcare products. Walk me through the steps that you would suggest to someone coming in Thailand to set up a company in this area.
Okay, first of all, they need to have a proper project. Mm-hmm. The project includes all the steps to register the product and to be compliant. The first step basically is the product assessment, because not all the products, especially products coming from Europe and USA, are compliant to Thai law. I have to say that Thai FDA is changing a lot, and FDA is following the directories of ASEAN, and mainly they are copying or taking inspiration from the European regulation. But this doesn't mean that it's easy to adapt the product to Thailand, because in most cases there are some details. For example, in food supplement, the list of ingredients, allowed ingredients, may be different from Europe. So the first step is to check if the product is registrable. After that, everything can be done easily. I mean, the investor can choose if they want to enter directly in the market, so opening their company, obtaining the import license for their company, and registering the products under their company, or using a third-party license holder. This is also a service we can provide.
Diego, setting up a business importing healthcare products in Thailand sounds very complicated to me. Can you give me an example of a client you work with who's eventually ended up with a license to be able to import and sell healthcare products in Thailand?
Yeah, let's say all our customers starting the process end up with the license and with the product registration. Then the hard part comes. That means they have to sell, but this is not our sector. And well, they start with, like I said before, with analysis of the product and the project, if it is feasible or not. Mm-hmm. Normally it is. So we start with the company registration and with the proper package of investment protection, that is your sector.
Okay.
Yep.
And it has to be a Thai majority company, or it can be a foreign company?
must be normally a Thai majority company. There are some cases where the 100% foreign ownership is allowed. This means since the import is almost never allowed, but in medical device sector it is for the moment, because Thailand is not manufacturing high level, high quality medical device, so they allow foreign manufacturer to open their company here, own the 100% of shares, and distribute their own products.
It's a branch office, for example.
It's not a branch office, it's under FBL, Foreign Business License.
Okay, fantastic.
And it's normally allowed. I have some cases from Chinese companies, they open the company here with a 3 million baht capital minimum, and in a couple of months, if the project is considered as suitable for Thailand, it's approved.
So I've got this wonderful new product. I come to you and say, Diego, I want to be able to sell it in Thailand. What's the sort of duration? How long would it take me to get the licenses so that I can sell in Thailand?
Well, this is a variant, a big variable, because, for example, cosmetic can be done in 20 days, food supplement in around 1 month. Then we have to submit for laboratory testing, but it takes 1 more month. But this comes after we import the first batch, so the market is already open. For medical device, it depends on the risk class of the device, from the lower risk class that is around 1 month to the higher that is 250 days, only for FDA consideration. Then you also have to consider our time to prepare the documents.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. So it seems it's relatively quick once you've got the company started to be able to get to the market. Have you had any cases where you've had to go back to the client and say, no, you can't sell this product in Thailand?
Normally we say it before, if there is some issue in the project or in the product. After that, it's just a matter of sit down and wait, be patient, and provide to FDA all the documents they require. The process is only documentary. There is no sampling. Normally there is no sampling unless for some small part of products. So it's not an issue. It's not a barrier. Just take time and the right approach.
So your firm provides all the services, translation services, you represent them in front of the various regulatory bodies?
Okay. Yes, we do.
So a full service from the time they enter to the time they're registered?
Let's say translation are very few, because normally FDA accept all the documentation in English, or Thai or English, no other language. Sometimes they ask official translation for the certification, the standard quality, etc. But this is not an issue. Yes, we assist all the steps. Even in some cases we need to create a document according to the Thai regulation, we can do for the customer.
So in the clients who've come to you, what's the sort of things that you've gone back and said, I need more information or I need clarification for, so people can prepare for this?
It's normally about some detail on the product, on the device or the product we are submitting. It's about some document may be amended, and normally the most general case is the product name in cosmetic and food supplement. That must be not misleading the consumer. Thailand regulation is very attentive to the consumer, so the communication is very important. This is the main topic where we have to be ready to amend. What we ask to our customer is the flexibility, not to be rigid and say, I always do this in many countries, because Thailand has a particular regulation that is easy to understand if you are inside. Sometimes it's hard to accept. I understand.
So I've got a client who says, this is a wonderful product. It'll make you young again. Can I register something that says that?
No.
So this one can cure all illnesses. So you've got to be very specific.
There are some specific claims that you can use. For example, is supporting the wrinkle and making the skin more soft. This is allowed, but you have to prove that the product is effectively providing this benefit with some some specific ingredient or some clinical trial.
Okay. We're going to get a little off topic now, and I know a lot of the members of the Thai Italian Chamber import wines, spirits and food. Tell me a little bit about the process to do that. I want to license a new product from Italy, call it a wine or a spirit. What's the process you'd have to go through?
Well, wine and spirits are relatively easy and fast to register, but the main problem is taxation. I mean the calculation of the tax, because you have to input hundreds of data in a system, and then when you see the outcome, it's very hard to accept, because tax are still heavy for to import the spirits. About food, it's easier, but there are so many variables. Food registration process depends on the ingredient, on the packaging, on the system you use to close the container, and pasteurization, sterilization. There are so many variables. So for food, it's mandatory official product assessment to FDA, not our opinion, but official opinion for FDA.
One final question. I'm bringing the product in from overseas. Do I need a registered premises to store this, or can be done in any place at all?
No, you need a physical place with the specific requirements. For example, in spirits, the place cannot be in the span of 400 meters from schools, temples, and dormitories. Or, for example, for medical device, you need a specific structure with requirements for healthy and hygiene. And from the 21st of July, there is a new regulation that imposes to use a person, responsible person, that has specific requirements like a degree and in the science sector.
And you can help the clients with all of this?
Yes, if they don't have such person, we can provide. If they are looking for a place, we have our own place. We can provide the physical address for license purpose. For example, they can open their company and put the company here in the Chamber of Commerce office, and then they use our premise to have the physical address for the license.
That's great that the Chamber's helping people as well.
Yes.
So that's wonderful. What do you see as the advantages of being able to sell a product in Thailand? Give me an idea of the market, the healthcare market. We talked about it booming. In your experience, how have you found the market, and how have you found the market over the last 7 or 8 years?
Okay, the market in the last 7-8 years, since we are active, changed a lot. Let's face it, case by case and sector by sector, because there are many variables, many differences. For example, the cosmetic market is quite saturated and is in the hands of a big corporation. So a new company cannot expect to enter the market without a huge investment. This is personal opinion, but I've seen a lot of cases. Let's say that the food supplement sector is quite spreaded and is easier, because the manufacturer are normally from abroad. Thailand is not producing any food supplement, or just a small part, and it's a bit easier, but the main requirement is to have the physical presence here for a company. For medical device, the main problem in the market, to enter the market, is the clinical trial. I mean, normally every hospital, every public authority, they want to see some clinical trial process in Thailand. You can bring example and papers from England, from America, from Europe, but they say, okay, where is the trial in Thailand? They want you to pass through this step into a Thai university. This is the main requirement. And then for other products like food, food is an open market, but Western food is a niche. Don't forget this. The main food here are Asian, Chinese, Korean, Japanese, and European are growing fast. For example, Italian food, I think, doubled their presence here. It's getting more and more popular within Thai consumers. And at the end, the wine, the spirits are only imported because there is just a small production in Thailand that honestly the quality is not the best, not comparable with Italian or French or American wines. So this is quite open and also saturated. The market is in the hands of French, 30% of the quota. Italy only have 10%, and this is a pity because we know we have the best product and we don't have the majority of the quotas.
Wow. So this is pretty interesting. I think what I'm taking out of this is, firstly, do your homework. Make sure the market is there before you enter. Talk to experts like yourself on what they need to bring into the market, the information they need, what they need to get certified and licensed in the market. And after that, the process seems relatively straightforward.
Yes.
It's quite quick. 21 days is not that long to get a license.
If you allow me to underline that, do it by yourself and use Google is not the best idea. Use a professional and use a first-hand information.
Good. Well, thank you very much for your time. This has been really informative. I'm sure I'm not going to be in an area which has the expertise that you have in the regulatory area. That's something I'll leave to you, but it's been really great talking to you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you to the Chamber for the nice environment. Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you.